just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends, and I want to thank everybody that actually subscribes to my show and show me love. In the House of the Legends, I have somebody he's from California, and this guy is impeccable. I mean, his resume is like, you wouldn't even understand it. He's done everybody from all the rappers, Snoop Dogg, Outkast, Nicki Minaj. I mean, the list goes on. And I bring to the House of the Legends, Chris Cali Boi Reese, a.k.a. Dirty Rat. What's going on, Chris?
Dirty Rat's my old name. Cali Boi is my name now, but I appreciate the love. What's going on, my brother?
Oh, man, just chilling, man. Welcome to the show, The Legends. So we're going to talk about the beginning for you. How did you get involved in the dynamic things that you do as far as all the dynamic major artists that you actually incorporated?
Well, I mean, I started out young. I was playing football, hurt my leg, and then I had to kind of figure out after high school what to do about football being my passion. Right. And I realized that, I had to figure out what I needed to do. So basically, I got involved with the rap, and I always was rapping, but I just didn't take it 100% seriously because I figured that I was going to be an NFL pro,
Right.
So I decided to go ahead and just pursue it, so it was a little struggle because I had to go through a different little, hills and grinds and going through it. But I went up to the wake up show and had to sit out there and wait till Sway and King Tech, pulled over and, gave me a shot, and I told them if you give me a shot on the radio, I'll beat anybody up there. So they were all in here like, what? They were laughing. So they told me to be up here next Saturday. And that was my first day I got on the radio, just sitting outside waiting for them to pull up at the radio station and just approaching their bins, like, yo, man, what's up? I'm the next. So, there's a lot of drive and passion and just a lot of friendships, networks. A good friend was Mr. Grimm from Indo Smoke and with Sugar Free and DJ Quick and Battle Cat. Just all my relationships throughout the time of the grind just came together.
So how did you incorporate acts like Eminem, Snoop Dogg, DMX, and the list goes on and on, Nicki Minaj and so many, how did they actually get involved with you? And
especially as a West Coast rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, I was signed to Loud Records, which is a New York-based record label. They had Exhibit, Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, Stellar Dwellers, Big Pun, Alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was on that label, and as soon as I signed that label, they had put me on a jet first class to go out and meet all the East Coast cats. So when I went out there, we all just clicked. So when it was time for tours, they all requested me to open up for them.
Okay.
So that became my relationship. So just bouncing around that, and then when I got my deal at Loud Records, Steve Rifkin, he's the owner of it. He was like, listen, I signed you because you're a dope rapper, but I need to put you on tour so you can know how to be a platinum rapper.
Right.
So he threw me up on all these tours. So I was opening up on all these tours and building relationships, and then just, we just all clicked, you know what I'm saying? And so it was a beautiful thing. It was a great lesson and good experience. And it just really felt good to actually do something, to feel like you're a part of something at a young age.
So my question to you is that, at one time they was talking about the East Coast and the West Coast, and they had a collaboration about that.
Right.
Can you tell the viewers about how you experience? I know that you actually heard about it. What was your experience with that?
Well, it's just that my experience is when I was on tour, I happened to be a part of that. So you're exactly right. And I just understand the reason why Snoop was upset is that on the West Coast, all we do is play and show love to all acts from everywhere around the world. And we've been doing that since the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed like there was an East Coast bias that they didn't want to play West Coast music. Now, I know if East Coast had a different feel for it, but my whole thing was it shouldn't matter what just these East Coast artists were saying. You know what I'm saying? But in the West Coast, it was like, hey, man, we're going to support everybody. So, you know, when Snoop was out there, and I was out there for 2.5 weeks, and I've been to 7 clubs when I was out there, and I already heard 3 songs that was from the West Coast in 7 different clubs in 3 weeks. So I wasn't mad personally. Right. But honestly, I didn't have music on the radio at that time because I was just grinding. So I kind of understand what Snoop was talking about. He's why he was mad, because he was like, yo, nobody supporting my music. So, you know, but my thing was is that shit, you know, that shit should have never escalated to bigger than it was. I think it was more press move. You know what I'm saying? And when Biggie and Pac died, it just ignited the fire. But you know, the hip hop has changed so much dramatically since then. And
it has. Most definitely,
I'm a truly believer. If Tupac and Biggie were still alive, all these tight jeans and all this weird movement, they would have stopped all that. Like, do you imagine Tupac still alive, and when those West Coast, those guys came out, when they had the little tight jeans, and they were like, you're a jerk, the something boys. Remember that? Tupac would have killed them. They from up north, he'd have been like, nah, I'm not having it. I ain't having it. You feel me? The whole movement would have stopped. You know, and same thing with Biggie. He would have shut down New York cats wearing them tight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hip hop wouldn't have changed so dramatic. But listen, I like hip hop. I just feel like right now, music is not no competition. That's what made hip hop what it was today, is that you wanted to be the best in your city, then the best in your state, then the best in the states, and then the best in the world. That was what you wanted to do. You wanted to be best. Everything was a competition, and it was a story about it.
Yeah.
And so this music today lost that. There's no storytelling, and nobody wants to be the best. Everybody just want to get rich. You know? So that kind of drained the element.
Well, at this point, you know, if you look at your craft as a monetary type of asset to you, man, I think you lose the focus because in the beginning of any craft, you're not rich, but you're putting your all into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And before we go any further, man, I want to commend Lauryn Hill. You know, it's the very first hip hop artist for her album to go diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I just found that out the other day.
I just wish she paid everybody on that album, but that's another story.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the politics of the production.
I got a homie who's like, man, I'm still waiting for a check. So it is what it is.
You know, so from then, hip hop right now is like, how would you symbolize it as far as the lifestyle? Because we have house music, and they say that it's a lifestyle. They have different other genres that are lifestyles right now. So how would you symbolize hip hop right now? You know, is it a lifestyle? Is it a culture? Is it something that that's just happening?
No, it's a life. It is the lifestyle.
Okay.
Hip hop has changed the world. You know, it's in every song, even that has nothing to do with music. It's in, you know, you're selling Tide Pods, and you hear hip hop beat in the background, and a groovy looking brother or a guy or something, and they're like, yeah, Tide Pods. So it's everywhere. You know, nobody cares about nothing. You know, even car insurance. You get some general insurance. It's touched everything that we don't have nothing to do with. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just still what it did. So I'm very proud of it. I just wish the substance and the content was a little bit more like it was when we did it, you know, in the 90s, because, you know, we like to hear about, we already know. I don't know. We like stories was what it was, man. You know, we want to hear a story.
Right.
It's so funny.
My question to you, Chris, is that do you feel that all hip hop production have to be explicit?
No, but we just lost control when Two Live Crew won that lawsuit. Right. Freedom of speech. And everybody felt like they could say shit, motherfucker, damn pussy bitch. And everybody said, I got to say it. I have to say it within at least 4 or 5 times every 16 lines, every verse. I got to get a fuck shit, bitch, pussy, and whatever. They got to get something in there. And they had to do it. And a nigga. They had to get it in there. They felt like, okay. And, you know, and it just felt like it was acceptable in the music. And, you know, I tell my people all today, like, why you always say nigga? I don't say nigga all the time. It just comes out sometimes. Right. This is how I was raised, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, but you know, and white folks, and it's bad, and it's not, okay, yeah, but when white folks made up nigga, they were of course they were insulting us. But as black slaves at the fire And then that's how comedy started. And one of the black men stood up during the fire and was like, nigga, do, I'm about to be master. Nigga, do this, nigga, do that. And it became a term of endearment for we had respect for each other. So, you know, and then it got into hip hop and then gangster and shit, all of that. But I didn't understand we need to get rid of it. But sometimes, you know, it's just in the vocabulary because that's how you was raised. You dig?
So can you tell the viewers what actually promotes longevity in this craft of hip hop as an artist?
Longevity is actually being real and saying something, making sense, being original. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of weird artists out today, but they still out today. They came out 5-6 years ago. To me, Weeknd's a weird artist. Yeah, to me, he's just weird. You know what I'm saying? But he has longevity, right? He has a great voice, a great style. It's been out 5 years now. You know what I'm saying? There's certain artists to me are strange, but then certain artists are just normal but dope. You know, like Drake. There's nothing strange about Drake. He's just a great rapper that does dope music and don't get in trouble, right? Then you have like other cats that's always in the news. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different styles and different types of artists. You know, as working on record labels and stuff, and having to see, you know, go through different artists is just amazing because I know it's at the record labels, they look at me and they're like, is he worth it? And I'm like, I remember my first time I was like, worth what? And they're like, what do you mean? It costs $1.5 million to push an artist. Is he worth that? And I'm like, let me have another day and think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like, is he worth dropping this ticket on? And I'm like, I'm not sure yet. Let me think of somewhere. But anyway, the music business is really hard right now because everyone sounds alike. Back then when we was busting, we was busting, but I don't know if you was busting, but in the 90s, it was a chosen few, and then it was everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back, and you guys stay tuned.
For sure. Peace.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Don't turn around. You ain't really down. Playing the games you do. Someday, everything will be alright. Know that different people make the world go round.
And it's all because of you, my dreams are coming true.
You're the sun that erases my rainy day.
Right now, I don't care who's watching.
For whatever the reason there might be.
With your love by my side, the world will be mine. You're the one for me.
Yeah. Nobody.
Jason, let's go see your room.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
And we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. In the House of the Legends, I have Chris Cali Boi Reese. Chris, what's up, man?
Yes, sir. What's going on, sir? How are you?
You know, we're going to talk about your new book, you know, because it's I've heard some things about the book, and I heard that it's very hilarious, not hilarious, but very, very knowledgeable as far as the morals and the principles of.
It's hilarious too. There's some fun stuff in there too.
With the hip hop world. So tell everybody about the book and what it actually symbolizes.
It's the music Bible, music industry Bible. Basically, I'm just showing everybody what it takes to get in to be successful, how to handle success, how to handle it with depression. If you don't get success, stay motivated, stay focused. So how to get out of contracts. So what type of contracts you need to have. What's expected of you. When you get the contract, it just showed you how much we spend on an artist. What did we do? What's the goal? How to be a good artist. Build your entourage, and and just keep the drive going. That's pretty much what it is, man. But it's very knowledgeable. I got stories in there with me and Michael Jackson, DMX, all the stuff that all the artists you name. I got stories with me and Shaq in there. I used to be with him and his entourage when he played for the Lakers. So it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff in there, man. Very, very, very informative. I did it to leave my legacy.
So, is a lot of this actually based on your experience as well?
This is all about my experience and what I've done, where I work for, who I work for, when and why, how I know what I went through, contracts I got before, contracts I've seen, contracts not negotiated, contracts that were negotiated I knew that were bad, that the artists just accept anyway. Because, most artists don't go and get a contract. They don't go and get a lawyer. They just go get an auntie or somebody 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 that knows something. Right. Auntie, look at this. And she's an accountant 30 years ago, but she's like, this look good to me, baby. And then they signed it,
But she ain't reading between the fine lines, right?
Yeah, like Megan Thee Stallion, you know what I'm saying? So I realized Megan Thee Stallion was one of the ones that set me off to do that, because I'm just like, damn, I've been in this game since the 90s and it's still happening, with her. She had a record deal and she didn't know the rules. You know what happens when you get a deal from another deal, because she had a production deal, then a production got a major deal, and then she came out and she wondered why I sold 3 million records and $30 million gross, but she only got 3 million out of 27 million. She's like, where's that money? But she didn't realize that she didn't really know the game. Right. So she was all over social media destroying her 2 labels, and they were just quiet because they can't be mad at you because you didn't read the contract. And now you're pissed off. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. So I wrote that book when I saw that. When I saw that happen, I was like, okay, artists are still getting screwed in 22.
Right.
So 21. So I was like, damn, you know what? So last year I said, let me write this book, and I wrote it all last year, and then it's been out since December. So it's been out about 3 months now, and we're almost. How's it doing? We're at 500 right now. So we headed toward trying to get a bestseller going, man. So I think I'm doing pretty good. We over 500 now, so we're headed to 1,000 and trying to make it happen.
That's great, man. Does it also talk about the fact that all record companies are not really legit in a sense, or they have a selfish type of seminar about them as far as
Absolutely. Like, it just tells you that you are just a social security number to us. And that's us as the record label. You're just a number, and as long as your numbers keep turning, we burn it with you. But if your numbers start to cease to exist, there's always another artist with some more numbers that we need. So we'll go ahead and go with them. So I just said, and when you have to turn your record in, they don't want to hear about grandma grandma fell down the stairs and I got to fly to North Carolina. They want that record to turn in on the deadline. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard stories like they front you money, and as you go along, you get money. But when they sue you, you have to use that same type of money to get you out of court, man, out of the deal that you're in. So my question to you is, when you actually sign a deal with a record company, how hard is it for you to actually break that contract if you're actually in one?
Well, if you haven't sold any records, it's not hard because they don't want you no more. Feel me? So it's just about let me go. If you have sold records, then there's only a few options you can do, which I tell in the book, how to get out of contracts. I teach you how to get out of a contract if you know it's bad. But if you sold some records and then you're like, yo, I don't like like a lot of people, most record deals aren't going to be what you want. Most deals in life aren't going to be exactly the way you want them. You feel what I'm saying? So if you sign a deal and say, you only got 60% of what you wanted, and you really wanted 75, 80. Well, you can try to get that on the second album. You know what I'm saying? You have to every contract is negotiable. That's why it's contract. So you can always change the terms because remember, if you have a 3-year deal and you feel like your first album sold 2 million, and like you said, like you're Megan Thee Stallion, and you only got out of 20 million, you only got 2 and 18 minutes on the table. You could be like, "Or listen, I want to get out this deal," and if they say, "All right, well, we don't want to let you out," then I'm not going to say right now, but you could. There's something you can do. Mm-hmm. It's in my book that that put their hands against the wall, and then they have to negotiate with you. And then another thing like that, you can also ask for second album. You can ask for a $2 million advance just to even up what you got on the first album. You know what I'm saying? So there's ways to do it that I teach you in this book. That it's just for artists because they need it, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go in with their eyes closed, and I just don't understand why. But everybody's so excited because you got the contract and they say $50,000 in advance. It got your first and last name, your social. They tell you want your signature. And it seems so legit, and you're so excited. You want that bread. It's your opportunity. But you have to do your business too. You got to be about your business and not just excited about being out.
My question to you is, and I'd like the viewers to know, from you, as your experience, which makes more money, man? Either the record sales or the concerts?
Well, it depends on what you do. If you wrote all your stuff, all of it's your money. Now, if you have writers, say like, Mr. Lowe wrote my hit single, I don't get paid from that on the radio. Mm-hmm. But I get paid for all my touring and shows. You don't get none of that. But that song you wrote for me, I'm going to get famous off it. You're going to get rich. But then I get to perform it and make all that money. So that's my performance money because you didn't write the song. So you just get paid for performing it. You see what I'm saying? So if you produce it and rap it and perform it like the Dr. Dre's, you see how Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, the Timberlands and all those cats like that, Pharrell's, they write, produce, and they getting all the money. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you're getting all three phases. You're a 3-work player. You're a 3-workhorse.
Okay. My question to you, like I asked all my guests, man, is any type of encouragement that you can give to most artists that are really trying to get involved with this craft of any type of craft right now?
I gotta tell my son, don't get in the music business. I'm just playing. But honestly, the music business is really hard to get into. I'm just not discouraging anybody, but it's harder to it's harder to get in. It's hard. Look, it's not as it's harder to be a superstar than it is to be a Laker or a Ram, Los Angeles Ram or a Charger. And I'm gonna explain to you why. I say it in my book too, but I'm gonna give you a little jewel. See, sports have 7 rounds, right? 30 teams, right? So 7 times 30, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's a lot of people. That's what is that? 210 different football players getting a shot this year to play, right? Mm-hmm. It's only 10 to 15 new acts that gets accepted in hip hop a year. 10 to 15 make it. Everybody else get a little bit of spin and die down. But only 10. So you have to be really arrogant. You have to really believe in yourself, and you have to have a song that everyone loves to be part of that 10 to 15 every year. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's 200 soccer players, 200 baseball players, 200, it's 200, but only 10 to 15, 20 in hip hop and music. You see what I'm saying? So it's harder to be a superstar in rap than it is to be a damn Laker. So, I'm just being honest.
My whole thing is, where do you think that the next 5 years from now, how do you think hip hop's going to actually perceive itself?
I mean, it's going to continue.
At the rate is what it's going now, but would it still have the same flavor? Would it still have the same politics? Will most hip hop still want to act like gangsters and be involved with a whole bunch of other things besides the craft? I mean, what's your take on that, man?
I hope we don't have packs of rainbow flavored gangster rappers sounding like computers wearing pink Crocs. I hope that doesn't happen. But I told myself I'll never get beat up with a man in tight jeans. But no, I hope so that I know it has a great future, man. I love hip hop, man. It's my life. It's brought me all my accolades. It's kept my, it feeds my son. I love it, man. You know what I mean? Damn, look, you see, I got Kobe right here, and I got everything that's hip hop. You know, I'm always about my hip hop. Look, I got Biggie right here. Look, you see
Right.
what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man.
I hear you.
It's my life, but you know, but honestly, man, I think it's going in a great direction. I love what's going on. I just want the youth to, you know what would be dope? If there was like a class that read record labels say, listen, before I sign you, I'm gonna put you through this 1 month seminar, so that way you understand the roots of hip hop.
Right,
Before
right.
I just throw you this money and let you go crazy, I want you to understand why you're in this. So I want you to
Right.
watch these videos and take this course. And then tell me, do you want to be a part of this big ass thing that we started? And then it's like, all right. Some people might be like, nah, I'm cool. It's too big for me. So, you know what I'm saying? I wish there was a hip hop course before you get the check. So that way we can understand, you know, they'd be like, okay, I understand the value of what I'm doing. So let me make it happen. You feel me? That's all.
Well, you know, man, it's been a pleasure to have you on my show, man, and being so informative to people that's really trying to really get into this this craft. You know, you guys go out there and buy his book, support him with this. It's very knowledgeable. I'm learning some things right now from him, you know, and go out and buy his book, man. Support the brother, man, and learn something about the industry, you know.
Yeah,
And
man.
Chris,
Hey, it's very, very informative, and you need it, man. I swear. If it's any time that you want to read a book and it's very quick, you know what I'm saying? It's 50 pages, gets right down to the point. The Music Industry Bible, How to Not Get Screwed. It's on Amazon, Book Barnes and Nobles. It's all over Kindle. It's everywhere. So get that. Also, I want to say that I also have a Netflix movie coming out, and this summer. It's called The Origin. It's called Dubs Up, like you throw your dubs up. Your dubs, W. Yeah, there you go. And that's the origin of West Coast hip hop. It's telling you that, you know, the West Coast has started hip hop, not the East Coast in 71. I understand there's going to be a lot of flick flack from that, but it's documented in there. There's a group called the Watts Prophets. You can Google it. They were the first hip hop group to actually come out with a published record called Rapping Black in a White America. And there was 3 rappers, 3 guys and a female singing the hooks. That came out in 1971. 1973 was the first joint that came out in New York, which they were celebrating 50 years of hip hop, which is this is the year. But my documentary kind of shows that hip hop was out 2 years before that when Soul Train came out, and also in 69. A lot of dances from B-boy dances that we were doing that were called break dancing and boogaloo. You guys, the East Coast looked at that from Soul Train and then created break dancing from boogaloo pop locking. So there's a lot of things. Graffiti out here was in 61 in downtown LA, and they said graffiti was in 72. So I mean, there's a lot of things.
there's a lot of things going on.
My documentary proves everything. So I'm not causing problems. I'm just educating. That's all.
And that's
so check
good.
that out too.
And like I said, yeah, I'm happy to have you on my show. Come again, man. And this has been another T Love video production. My show, The Legends, and
yes, sir.
My guest, Chris Cali Boi Reese. And I thank you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for another episode. Peace.
God bless. Stay cool, but don't freeze.
All right.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.